Last year, the number of people going to movie theaters in the United States hit a 16-year low.
With state-of-the-art home theater systems, Redbox kiosks, Netflix, and movies you can download to your phone, is it any wonder movie theaters are finding it hard to compete?
Last month, Overland Park-based movie theater chain Dickinson Theaters declared bankruptcy. They own close to half a dozen area theaters, including the West Glen and the Palazzo, and the Blue Springs 8, which they now plan to close. And with Kansas City-based AMC recently selling to China, we thought it would be interesting to find out what on earth is going on in the movie theater business with someone whose thoughts are prized on the subject.
David Brain is president and CEO of Entertainment Properties in Kansas City, which has invested over $1.4 billion in over 100 megaplex theaters around the country, housing more than 2,000 movie screens.
You know, there's been a 23% reduction in the number of movie theaters in the United States since 2002. I mean, this can't be a good time to be in the movie theater business.
Well, that's the kind of statistic that often is used to mislead people about the business, which is fundamentally very healthy. Since 2002, for the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of growth in the number of screens at a single location. A lot of 6-screen theaters, 3 6-screen theaters in the neighborhood have gone to a single 16 to 24-screen theater. Therein, you've lost a number of locations or theaters, but you've not really changed seats or screens.
How do you explain what's happened then in our own market here? We have Dickinson Movie Theaters that owns the Palazzo, the West Glen, the Great Mall Theater there. The people know. And they're filing for bankruptcy?
They're filing for bankruptcy. They're just late to a party that occurred 6 and 8 and even 10 years before for a lot of the other theater operators. Dickinson has some less productive, older locations. Very often, just as we are a landlord to the theater industry, we're not a landlord to them, but they are a tenant, and they're very long-term leases, 15 and 20-year leases. Dickinson finally got to the point they decided structurally to try and release themselves of a lot of these long-term obligations of less productive locations, and they're undertaking bankruptcy to do that.
So it doesn't mean that the Palazzo, which is a newer part of their chain, is not a going concern? Exactly.
And that's exactly the case. It is a manner of restructuring a lot of your long-term obligations, and it's not that all of the industry is not bad and not all of your locations are unproductive. So the company, I expect, will emerge intact or possibly be bought out of bankruptcy by somebody else who's looking for the locations. When you go into these court restructures, it's a little bit of a jump ball. You're not exactly sure, and you're not fully in control of how they come out. So the company may be bought out of this process, may be bought at the end of this process, but they have healthy portions, and they're a good company in many, many respects, even though they're taking bankruptcy, and many of the locations are healthy.
Help us understand another aspect of the business here of movie theaters. We hear that movie theaters themselves actually make barely any money at all from your ticket when you go and see a movie, and that almost all of the money is coming from the concession. So unless you're buying and taking a second mortgage out on your home to purchase the popcorn and the soft drink, they're not making any money on the ticket. Is that really true?
Well, again, popular impression, but not really true. And I think the popular impression was fueled a little bit by theater operators who want you to believe that and want to sell the higher margin item, which is the concession item, no doubt, no question about it. But the split between the studios and the theater operators has been and continues to be about a 50-50 split. Varies by title. There are different negotiated terms on different films, particularly relative to promotional budgets. The higher promotional budget films, studio wants a higher share. But largely, Nick, it ends up over the runs of many films over the course of a year, about a 50-50 split. So on that $8 ticket, the studio is making $4 and the theater operator's making $4.
Now, we also have AMC movie theaters right here in our own backyard, and we learned this summer that AMC, that has been a Kansas City company for 90 years, moves from Kansas City to Leawood, but also then sells to the Wanda Group, which is a Chinese company. Now, from a movie-going point of view, and we've seen lots of business stories about what this means to shareholders and all of this, but from a movie-going point of view, does it make any difference whatsoever?
Not a lot, but at the margin, yes, and a positive difference, because the Dalian Wanda, or Wanda Group as they're often referred to, will be an aggressive and long-term oriented owner, where the ownership, particularly the last several years, 5 to 7 years of AMC has been short-term and financially oriented. So you have a change of ownership to a strategic ownership that's very interested in the industry, attuned to the industry, and very long-term. So I think some of the property maintenance and some of the innovation things that AMC has capable of deploying will be deployed more aggressively, and you'll have an increase in the customer experience, more so than you've had in the last few years.
Now, one way that AMC was using to get people into the theaters was just a few years ago was reserved seating.
Yes.
And you had the opportunity, just like on an airline,
Yes.
you would pick your seat.
Yes.
And they got rid of that whole system.
Yes.
But that was, I thought, was attractive to some people, and you actually paid more for that
Yes.
privilege. What happened to that? Why wasn't that successful?
I can't really tell you exactly why that wasn't successful. In fact, it's hard to change people's habits. But the movie-going experience is changing, and it's changing fundamentally from a single-class experience to a multi-class experience. There is emerging, and there will be solidifying over the next several years, kind of a coach, business class, first class model, to use an airline analogy that people are familiar with when it comes to the movies. And reserve seating likely will be part of the business and first class, but it probably won't be in the coach class. And there was an attempt to overlay it into more of the coach class experience. So upgraded seating, smaller auditoriums, higher service levels, and reserve seating will emerge and be a part of the landscape in the future.
But you're all going to be in the same theater. There'll be just different sections of the theater, like on an airline?
Possibly, but largely not. The emerging model is to break out separate auditoriums for those separate classes of services. In some cases, though, there will be segmenting of the single auditorium to those separate classes.
Will you be paying more for an aisle seat, David?
Possibly, likely not. It probably will be seat size and spacing and service that will dictate pricing more than specific location in the theater.
Now, why is it that they have still these front seats in these movie theaters that nobody ever wants to be in? You crane your neck, you have a stiff neck at the end of the experience. Why do they still even have those at the front of the theater? Why don't they remove those, or have those at a cheaper rate, for instance, than the other seats in the theater?
Well, there has been some thought to the yield pricing, the latter point. They have those largely for film negotiation purposes very often, to be able to tell the studio, I'm going to devote 3 auditoriums and 1,500 seats to this show, and therein they go negotiate better film rent, even though there's not a high likelihood of selling all those 1,500 seats. So it's a throwback, and it's a contributor to the film negotiation. I will tell you, though, Nick, particularly AMC has now been utilizing a almost near full horizontal motorized lounge chair in some of their upper rows, and cutting those rows effectively in half in order to give the seat room to recline. So where there were 9 rows, there might be 4 or 5. And this is proving to be attractive. People are interested in an auditorium where they can go to those upper rows and get this motorized lounge chair and get more of a suitable viewing angle, and they're liking it a lot, and the people are willing to pay full rate for that.
Now, what are the other trends that we see, certainly in Kansas City, with regards to the added bells and whistles, is this so-called dining in the theater, and with AMC, as we've been talking about them, there's the fork and screen experience.
Yes.
Currently, that's only at the great, the one in Olathe.
Yes.
And you can eat and have a whole menu and drinks right there in the theater and eat at the same time.
Yes.
How is that working out?
It's working out very well, but it's taken a little bit of time, like changing people's habits we talked about in the reserve seating. It's taken a little bit of time. The curious thing is, when you went to Olathe and you had a choice of a $7 ticket or a $17 ticket, when introduced, the $7 ticket always sold out first. And then people, if they wanted to see the title and there was no capacity left at $7, they would buy the $17 ticket, sometimes grudgingly, but they would attend it. Interestingly now, 20 months after introduction, the $17 ticket sells out first. People are now recognize it takes a little more time of adoption, but it will be a part of the industry.
Now, there were 2 places where you could actually eat in the movie theater as a part of AMC. One was in Olathe, and one was at the AMC Main Street. But AMC just sold that restaurant. Now it's going to be part of the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. If that was such a successful concept, why did AMC sell that theater?
That movement away from that theater and sale to Alamo was more of a friction between AMC and the Cordish company that's running the entire Power and Light District. And Cordish had a lot of capability of dictating some operational characteristics to AMC that AMC did not like, and was really, there was just a point of contention there that needed to be resolved, and the best way to resolve it was for AMC to sell that property.
What other trends are we seeing then for the future then in movie theaters? We've talked about some in Kansas City.
Yes.
What else is happening around the country that we might be seeing in the future right here in our own metropolitan area, David?
You're going to see these multiple classes of seating, density, size of auditorium, and interestingly now we're also seeing some branded foods move into the theater operation. So you'll traditionally, when you've been in the theater, they've all been, well, they've been branded packaged foods in terms of candy and so forth, but branded prepared foods of a nature of brand names you will recognize, restaurateurs, maybe even not national chains, but sometimes even local chains. But this will begin to occur, that some of the branded restaurant chains are interested in coming in the theaters and negotiating deals that are acceptable to theater operators. And the other thing you'll see, Nick, is as we've now moved past the 50% point with the digital conversion of the industry, you will begin to see presentation of materials other than Hollywood films, events, concerts, special even town hall meetings for political candidates and things going on of a significantly different nature that will bring out audience interaction. So you'll begin to see that at a different level than you've ever seen in a movie theater. These will be presentation auditoriums, content-rich facilities, but not necessarily just movies.
David Brain, President and CEO of the Entertainment Property Trust Group. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. It's been fun. Thank you.